Happy Monday, newbies. How's it going? Hope everyone had a great weekend. I'm popping on today and I'm going to just talk about some deadhead miles, right? What are deadhead miles? Let me get my camera right. Deadhead miles are the miles that you have to travel to get to your client. So let's say the client is 10 miles away from you. So those 10 miles that you travel to get to that person to pick them up are deadhead miles. They're called dead because guess what? You're not making any money. And if you don't watch your margins, those deadhead miles can kill you. So two things I want to share with you today that can help you, especially when you're starting out, right? To kind of mitigate the deadhead miles. Because again, if you're not paying attention to those miles, it's not the broker's responsibility to know your bottom line and to know your numbers. So to my knowledge, there are no brokers, and again, this is to my knowledge, that reimburse for deadhead miles. You're going to lose money if you don't pay attention to the deadhead miles, right? So first thing I would suggest when you're starting out, right? I feel like you probably shouldn't open yourself up to too many counties too soon, especially if you're in an area and there's a lot of rural areas connected to your county, right? So for instance, if you have to travel 50 to 60 miles to get that client, right? You're losing money on every mile that you're driving to that client. How? You're losing money because you're burning gas, right? And if you're not driving it yourself, 9 times out of 10, you're paying someone to drive. So you're losing money on that first 45 miles to 60 miles or whatever it may be. So again, you have to keep that in mind. So to mitigate that, when you're starting out, limit your area, especially if you're in a rural area. You want to start out and build your client base and make sure you're making money before you actually start taking on those deadhead miles. I mean, it's going to kill your profit margin, especially if you're starting out and you're building your client base. Secondly, it may be a little of an inconvenience and it takes a little more time, but you want to confirm rides whenever you can, especially if you are doing deadhead miles, right? If you're going 45 to 50 miles, you want to confirm. Just take the second to call this member or this client to make sure they're actually going on that appointment. All right. Again, you don't assume that they're going to call you and cancel, because a lot of times they don't. If they're not your regulars, a lot of times your name just come up as a rotation ride. They don't know you from a can of paint, so they're not going to take the time to cancel that ride. And you definitely don't want to be in a situation where you drove 20, 30, 40 miles to pick up a person that's not even going. You're going to eat that loss. That you, not the broker. So it's on you to make sure that you're doing everything you can to mitigate the deadhead miles. So I just wanted to drop that on you guys today, just to let you know. Make sure you know your numbers. Take it from someone that didn't know their numbers starting out, because it can look like you're making money on paper, but if you're not factoring in all the things, all the costs, and deadhead miles being one of the major ones, especially starting out, then you're going to be in the red, right? So keep that in mind, newbies. It's a great day to be great, and good luck to everyone that's starting out. It's definitely an adventure. You're going to learn something new every day, good and bad. So, those deadhead miles, thank God you learned it from me. So pay attention to your numbers and let's be great.